This is 37th Street Radio and TV, and of course, we are out here giving you the best when it comes to guests. And today we have another special guest. So, guest, please introduce yourself.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Llewellyn Ouya. Some of you have seen me online. I offer business-related content, especially on TikTok and YouTube. And I'm also a medical student and a finance professional.
So, I just want us to go straight into it. Like you have mentioned a couple of things, medical student. You have also mentioned you are a finance. You said something to do with finance, and then of course you're also creating content. I want to know what came first.
So like after high school, I did actuarial science with IT. And after graduating, I worked for a little bit. I also did CPA. So I've practiced as an internal auditor. After that, I've also done several other small courses. And I went back to school to broaden my knowledge, particularly to venture into the medicine field. So right now I'm a student.
Yeah. So
studying medicine and surgery.
I want to know, like you have done a couple of things. So I want to know, like, kwa nini una change yani? Why are you changing from one thing to another? Ama you're just passionate about, maybe you're passionate about learning new things?
Yeah, it's not so much changing, but more of progression. Because I'm someone who is multi-talented and I can do multiple things at the same time. So I don't like having free time, and I always like learning new things. So that's why I'm always doing a couple of things at the same time. I'm passionate about business, and I always seek knowledge so that I can continue growing as a person and also career-wise.
I want us to talk about business because that's what people really know you for, and guys have been seeing your videos. So I would just like to understand passion yako ya entrepreneurship ilianzia wapi? Because when we go to school, our education system is so centered on creating employees, and wewe sasa you have vast knowledge in business. So how did you unlock your potential kufikiria on the other side of being an entrepreneur and not just an employee?
Okay, so ever since I was young, I've always been involved in businesses because my parents have done a couple of businesses themselves, and we always helped out from a very young age. So I've always liked the idea of being in business, carrying out the duties, either as a helper or as a salesperson. Just the idea of generating money from nothing or just converting services and goods into money has always fascinated me from a young age. To the point that after I finished school, I've done a couple of businesses myself. I'm always venturing into new things, doing my own research. I've read a lot of entrepreneurial books, watched a lot of videos and documentaries. So that's why I know so much about businesses. And so far, it's been a great journey. And I'm always learning every single day. There's no day that can pass before I learn something new about business.
I want to know how you decided to even share content with guys, because there are some people who have very vast knowledge, but they don't have that courage of coming out and just giving guys tips on how to go about it. So we ulipataje courage ama ulipataje idea ya kujiexpress pale ukifunza watu kitu? Because on the internet, guys are usually singing, dancing, but now your content is different. So I just want to know the idea behind it.
Okay, so personally, like my personality, I just like sharing what I know. Even if we are hanging out somewhere and there's something I just learned or something I know, or if we are walking or driving somewhere and we see a certain business and I have an opinion about it, I'll just share it. I always talk about businesses 24 hours. So the idea just came because after high school, that period, it's when a lot of guys, especially in Europe and the US, had started blowing up on YouTube. YouTube was still very small here in Kenya. And I always wanted to like have a channel whereby I can tell people about businesses, because I've done business myself. And the thing is, it's very hard to get mentors in these industries, because most people are very mean with information. Some people make a lot of money in their businesses, but they can't tell you anything about it. If you ask them about it, they just tell you, I'm struggling, this and that, but they don't give you any information. It's so hard to get genuine people who will tell you, this is where I get stock, this is how much it costs, this is how much it costs to set up this business, this is how you can get a tender, this is how you negotiate contracts. It's so hard to get such people. And because it's something I've gone through previously when I've done my own businesses, I decided to share this knowledge with people. I was so skeptical at first, like there's that fear of starting something new, and it exists in everyone. Some people think that they're the only one who are afraid of stepping into something new, but it happens to everyone. It's just that you have to overcome it. So for so long, I wanted to do YouTube videos, but I was just afraid of starting. I kept postponing. But then when TikTok came and TikTok started blowing up and it was something new, like it's like everyone was starting from scratch. It's not like YouTube whereby there are people who have already done YouTube for 10 years. TikTok sort of put people on the same level. And it's something you can start. You don't need a microphone. You don't need a very good camera. You just need your phone. So I saw that as an opportunity and I decided to start posting my ideas on TikTok. My first video on TikTok got, I think, 15,000 views the first night. And that's when I knew people want this kind of information. So I just kept posting from that day.
You have talked about being reading books and just having vast knowledge. So from what you have noticed from reading books and the knowledge, mtu akikuuliza like qualities gani zenye mtu akiwa nazo anaweza excel in business, ama qualities gani zenye mtu akikuwa nazo huwezi hata muadvise aanze biashara?
Yeah, there are some traits which are very common amongst people with the entrepreneurial mindset. And one of them is persistence. You have to be persistent. You have to believe in yourself. Like an entrepreneur sees things that other people don't. Sometimes people will think you're mad, but you're the only one who knows your goals. So you have to really believe in yourself. You also need to work hard. You have to work hard. You have to be someone who completes things. If you say, today I'm going to do this, you have to make sure you're going to do it. If you are organized, it's also a plus. And another funny thing about entrepreneurship and success is you will find people who are very different, but they have like equal measures of success. For example, you can find someone who wakes up very early and is successful at something. And you'll find another person who wakes up late, even at 9 or 10 a.m. And that person still drives, he still has money. So there's no fixed, uh, what can I say? You can't say that you need to have all these qualities so that you are successful, because people are different. Everywhere you go, even if it's in school or at work, there are people who work better in the morning. There are people who work better during the day. There are people who work better at night. Like for me, I work best at night. So I won't wake up very early in the morning. I normally wake up between 7 to 9, but I'll sleep late because I work best at night. So I can't advise someone that you have to work until 2 a.m. like me so that you be successful. It depends with the person. But now there are other things that you must have, like you must know how to express yourself, how to negotiate, how to talk to clients, such things, and how to manage money. That's also very important, because if you're making money and you're not utilizing the cash, you're not reinvesting, you're spending all of it, at the end of the day, you're going to be left with nothing. So it's a lot, it's a long topic, but those are some of the things someone needs. If you want to be successful, you need to always be informed in the industry that you're venturing in. Accept that you don't know everything. If you watch like successful people, they always go to seminars, they always read books, they are always at interviews and conventions seeking new knowledge. They don't despise people. It doesn't matter if someone is a billionaire or someone is just a normal person or a student. What matters is if you can learn one thing. If I can learn one thing from a high school student, I value it the same way I can learn something from a university professor, as long as I've learned something from that person. And that's the most important trait someone can have. There are some people who despise people just because someone hears maybe you're a student or maybe you're a junior at work. Now they can't listen to you no matter what you say, but that's not a way to be successful. To be successful, even for the top CEOs, they have sometimes to take tips and ideas from juniors. And that's one trait. It all boils down to humility at the end of the day. You have to be humble. Yeah.
Without patience and consistency, do you think your business can thrive?
It can't, because business is a long-term game. If you look at successful businesses, they have been built over a long period of time. Of course, we have exceptions. We have some businesses which you just start and automatically it peaks, but those are very few. Majority of businesses and conglomerates are built over years and decades. Even if you look at someone like Elon Musk, 5 years ago, he wasn't even like in the top 3 richest people. 10 years ago, he wasn't even in top 20. But right now, he's the richest by far. And he has been hustling since the 90s when he was part of the team that started the PayPal. They did PayPal, they sold it, he got some cash, invested it in Tesla and all that. He has been building for a long time. This other guy for Amazon, he has also been building his business since the 90s. So it's not a one-day thing. These things take time.
I want us to talk about from your experiences, and I also see the content that you usually share. I just want you to talk about the most common ways that guys are conned hapa hivi Nairobi when it comes to business. You can just talk about that.
Yeah, the most common ways people are conned are through there are these apps that promise that you can be paid like every day if you watch adverts on WhatsApp and YouTube. So they promise you that you can earn through watching videos, which is a lie. So what they do is you register, you create an account, and then you deposit. They normally have like a subscription fee. So you deposit some amount of money, and then once you start watching, they start crediting your account with some cash. But what they do is they pay the initial people to join the scheme so that they can go out and look for other people, because they promise you that if you bring more people, you're going to earn commissions depending on the people you bring in. So you can find like the first people to enter, they are going to earn probably for 1 or 2 weeks. Then the other batch is also going to earn for like 1 or 2 weeks. So the web keeps spreading until it reaches a point whereby they have so many people, and so many people have deposited money in their accounts. And then they're going to say there's VIP 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need like to top up money so that you can go to the next level and earn more cash. So the moment you do that, now they block your account. Or when it reaches a point whereby you have so many people and they can no longer pay you guys because they're using your money to pay you, they just disappear with your cash. They go and rebrand, they change the company name, and they come back to scam people again. So these online platforms are very dangerous. The other ways people are losing money right now is through people who use the Bitcoin industry, the cryptocurrencies name in order to con people. So we have like some apps which promise that you can mine Bitcoin, which is a lie. The process of mining Bitcoin it's a tedious process. You require so much capital. Actually, in Kenya, it even doesn't make sense to mine Bitcoin because the cost of electricity is so high. You'll be running a loss. But now we have companies that are lying to people that you can mine Bitcoin. So you mine Bitcoin, they put for you an arbitrary figure in that account. And because people pay in order to get these accounts, they just disappear with their money. So there are many ways people are being conned, even in car bazaars. The funny thing is you can see a car yard, probably let's say somewhere like Ngong Road. We have some car yards which are known to con people. You go and buy a car, they say we are processing for you the car. They just take you in circles until you lose that car. And those car yards are still there. You go to the police, they can't do anything. So it's a huge problem. There are people with money who are just conning people. We have real estate companies conning people. You are shown a piece of land on a map, you pay, they give you a fake title deed, or they just take you in circles, you never see the title deed. We also have some funny circles that are not registered and microfinance organizations, which are disappearing with savings of people. So we have a huge problem as a country. We have conmen all over. So it's a big problem. Yeah.
Personally, how many businesses have you started and how many have failed, and what gives you the energy and focus to continue?
Personally, I've done a lot, and the good thing with me is I'm always prepared. Like I know it can fail or it can succeed. So even if it fails, it doesn't affect me much. There's a time I did the liquid soap business. I did it for a while. It was good. It was making good cash, but I just stopped. That time I was young. I wasn't so much into the hustling, the working so hard, bit of it, but it was making good money. Because what I would do is I would go to town. I had two partners. We'll go to town, downtown. We buy those chemicals. We mix them. You just mix the chemicals with water. You get the liquid green or blue soap, and then we just put them in bottles and we sell. Normally, we used to sell to car wash and schools and hotels, and it was good cash. The other business I tried, the first shop I tried opening was a soda wholesale shop, which failed terribly. In 2 weeks, it failed terribly. It was somewhere in Githurai 45. So that one failed terribly because we didn't do good planning. I had a partner. We were both busy elsewhere. So there was no one to run the business. We didn't have enough capital to even start. We just started something that was shady, little stock. It didn't work out. Yeah, I've done other businesses also. There's a time I did PlayStation and movie shop. It was doing very well. Actually, that one was, I can say it was killed by COVID when COVID came. There's a time I had an electronics shop. It was good for a while. Then there's a time it just wasn't, it was making money, but it wasn't to the level I wanted. So I closed it. And I've done now the online businesses, which are so many: consultancy, business ebooks, business plans, and all that. I've edited for people's CVs. I've done a lot. I've done websites for people. Yeah, so it's a lot of businesses.
I want us to talk about the online space. And right now, can a business survive without online presence?
Yeah, a business can survive without online presence because in as much as a lot of businesses are online, we still have businesses which are offline. And I always advise people, there are some people who start a business, it's doing well, and now they think because everyone has a website, you need a website. You don't always need a website. It depends with the business which you're doing. So we have businesses which are purely offline and they're doing very well. For example, like there are people who sell like gas. So they sell gas. Maybe someone has a motorbike. Nowadays they do delivery. You just call, they bring it to you, to your doorstep. Probably he has gas and M-Pesa or something like that. That person doesn't need a website. In as much as the business can grow, all he needs is contacts. The clients, once the clients have his number, that's it. He doesn't need a website. I don't need to go to a website to start telling my local guy to bring me gas. I can just call and it's even easier. So sometimes you can open a website which will be expensive on your side, but it won't really bring in sales. So there are businesses which you can go online, some just remain offline.
As we are finishing up, I want you to talk about the most important lesson you have learned in business, and also for new entrepreneurs who are starting out, you can just also talk to them.
Okay, I've learned a couple of lessons. The first one is don't go into partnerships easily. Don't go. Sometimes you can just be chilling with someone, a friend, or even a relative, and then an idea sprouts, and you're like, by the way, we can partner and do this and that. Don't go into such. they'll just waste your time because it's very hard to get someone who you share the same goals and vision with. Normally, you'll find it will be one person working on the business, the other person is not even involved, or one person is using his cash, the other person doesn't want. So be very careful who you partner with. You can end up with unnecessary loans. You can end up with unnecessary fines from KRA. Sometimes you have opened a company with someone, they don't want to file the tax returns. Probably you're busy or you also don't want to file. The company starts accruing penalties. Before you realize, you have so many penalties. Same thing with the bank. Once you open a bank account for a company, you're going to be paying like 400 to 500 shillings every month just for the business account. If you're not paying and your partner is not paying, within 2 years, you have a huge debt at the bank. So be very careful who you partner with. The other thing, don't open a business if you don't have time to manage it. So that I learned from the shop I was telling you about, where I was selling sodas. Because I opened the shop, but I didn't have time to go to the shop because I was working somewhere. So I didn't have time to work on that business. So another thing, location is also very important because that shop wasn't easily accessible. It was not on the main road. So it was very hard for clients to be aware of the shop, of its location and all that. So those are some of the things I've learned. Another thing is, if you start a business and something is working, don't be so quick to change. Don't be so quick to expand or change things. Sometimes you might find the manual way is working. You try to automate something or you try to get a website and now you could have stuck maybe in Instagram. If you are using Instagram to sell, you can find you're selling a lot on Instagram. You open a website and no one knows your website. So it's better you just expand, like you increase the budget for marketing on Instagram, and that way you're going to increase your sales. So those are some of the lessons which I've learned in business.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Asante sana.